Hi, my name is Frank Hackett from Retro Barbers in Limerick, Ireland, and today I'm going to be bringing you a barber tutorial video on a classic gents scissors cut. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to work in vertical sections and we're going to go temple to temple, all the way around. So you can start your haircuts on the back or you can start them on the sides, it's really up to yourself. This is just personally where I like to start my haircuts. So I'm starting on the front area here, nice small sections, keeping good tension. Okay, and we're going to cut it vertically down, not going to go past the second knuckle. Keep good tension, and then we go lower again. So the key to cutting gents hair is to keep your sections nice and wet, keep good tension, and keep the sections nice and tidy and nice and clean. So comb goes in, straight out, and we're going to use our previous section as our guideline, and I'm going to bring it straight out. So generally when I'm cutting in the shop, I'm going to be standing parallel to the section I'm going to be cutting. For the purpose of the video, I'm standing a little bit to the side. So we keep on working back, brushing the hair out of the way, keep it nice and clean. Bringing it straight out. Always checking for your guideline. Nice small sections. And just repeat all the way down. So we repeat this process back to the back of the ear. Okay, so we're going to work back through the back area of the head here. Again, spraying the hair down, keep it nice and wet. And we're going to take vertical sections again. So it's quite a repetitive process, but the sections have to be clean and your tension has to be good. So we're working off a guideline from our previous section and bringing the hair out at 90 degrees. So bring it straight out. Just keep an eye on your elevation. Check that you have your guide. And work straight down. Nice and clean. Nice small sections. So the shorter area at the bottom here is already cut, so there's a little bit of graduation there already. So the hair, just let the hair fall away if the hair around the perimeter, the outline of the haircut is already short. So just let that fall away naturally. Obviously you're keeping an eye on the round of the head. I've already sectioned off the top area, as you can see, in a horseshoe section. So we'll clip that down in a while when we get to the top area and work down through the back and sides here. So we repeat this process until we get to the temple on the other side, and then we'll check our balance. Okay, so the back and sides are done. I've reduced the length. Now we just got to check the balance of the cut. So I just work back through my sections, bring the hair out horizontally, and just cleaning off any areas that are a little bit uneven. So no matter what cut you do, you're always going to have to check the balance of your cut. Lots of people have different ways of doing it. Generally what I do is I take horizontal sections from the top and I work my way down and just repeat this process around through the back and sides. So now we're going to look at using some classic barbering techniques. In this technique I'm going to use scissors over comb. So we're going to use the scissors over comb around the hairline here, just to reduce this excess weight that we don't need. I'll just turn that to the side a little bit more. So I'll just repeat that again. So starting on the temple area, 1, 2, 3, comb down, 1, 2, 3, comb down. So you keep on working down through the head. Just be careful when you're sliding the scissors in that the blades are closed. So this section here is going to go, we're going to work back to a new section, and this is going to be your guideline. So your first section is now your guideline for your next. So even though we're not actually taking the hair with our fingers, I don't know if you can see, but the shorter hair that is previously cut is here, and this is our next section here. So you still have your guideline even though you're using scissors over comb technique. So this is a real classic barbering technique, probably one of my favorites actually. To get this area a little bit shorter, I'll be using one of my detailers or my outliners to make that a bit more defined. We complete this process across the back and the other side also. Okay, so we've done the back and sides. We've used our scissors over comb area around the perimeter of the haircut. Now I'm going to use my outliner just to polish off and create a nice shape around the ears. Okay, so what we'll do is, normally when I'm doing this in the shop is I start with the right hand side of the trimmers and I work around the ears. You can obviously sometimes rest this on the skin and use the skin for balance. The hair's quite long still, so you're going to have to probably do it freehand. So we're going to start the inside area here, and you're trying to create a nice semicircle half moon shape around the ears. When you're doing it on a real head, it works a little bit easier because on a real head, the hair is going to be going down, or it's going to be closer to the skin. So on these mannequin heads, the hair tends to grow backwards. So generally, you don't really see that a whole lot on a real head. So again, around the ears, up to the top area. I'm going to hold it with the comb just to push it out, and using the corner of my outliner, just taking the ends off the hair. Again, I'm not going to go in too deep on it. I'm just going to hold the hair out with the comb and just working on the ends. So just going to create a nice shape around the ears, graduating it a little bit, but not have it too sharp. Keep it nice and natural down the side. Again, keep it nice and square if you can without going too short. To bring this in a little bit shorter, a little bit more graduation on the lower area, we can use our trimmers over comb. So very similar to your clipper over comb, just takes it in a little bit more, gives a nicer finish, a nice graduation. So we do that around the back and sides, through the back and over to the other temple then as well. And this will just give it a nice finish. So now we move into the top area. I've created a radial section across the top, and I'm going to work down through the back, connecting my top into the back area, using my section underneath in as my guide. So just tilt the head forward, and just taking it straight off the head, and we just connect it in. Keeping the tension good and keeping your sections nice and down. So that's going to be our first section. Divide that in half, work on to your next section, and we just continue this across the crown of the head. Sections nice and small. So if you take the sections too wide, you're going to lose where you're going, you're going to lose your guideline. So it is important to take the sections nice and tidy. And just repeat this across the back area. So your sections lengthwise or widthwise, you're looking at maybe about 1/4 inch. Just straight off the head, with tension, and just work your way down until you find your guide. Just repeat this across the crown area then, and then we'll connect the top area. So we're going to work straight up to the center parting, taking horizontal sections. So I'm going to have a guideline from a radial section, and now I also will have it from my previous section underneath. Nice clean sections and good tension. It's the key to everything. So work straight up to the center parting, and then we repeat then on the other side. So now we have the hair blow dried. We're just going to refine the haircut with my outliner and just a little bit of point cutting on top. So again, we've done the outline already, so we just need to make it a little bit sharper. Again, using your two hands, just going around the outline of the ear and back over the other side. So it's just the small little details like this, just to give the cut a much nicer and a much sharper finish. So we move over then to the scissors work, and basically I'm just going to go back through my sections on top, just do a little bit of point cutting, just to make it nice and soft, and just creates a little bit more movement. Now that blow dry is complete, I'm just going to put a little bit of product in the hair, and the one I'm going to be using today is Bedhead Pure Texture Molding Paste. So I'm just going to apply a small bit into the hands, and I've also used this as a pre-styler as well. So I applied this earlier to the hair when it was damp, and then we blow dried it. And by putting it on the hair damp and using it as a pre-styler, it actually creates more volume and gives the hair a little bit more body. So it's a good tip to use if you haven't tried that before. So I'm just going to apply it casually, and this is just one of those cuts that's going to be worn nice and casual and nice and natural. So that's the end of today's tutorial. We're going to be back later in the week with more tutorial videos. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon.